You want to sing like Frank Sinatra, so I made a video especially for you. I hope you'll stick around.
Sound check. Check 1, check 2.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Voice Essentials, where everybody sings. Now for those of you who don't know me, my name is Dr. Dan and I'm a contemporary singing voice specialist, and it's my job to help you realise the full potential of your singing voice. I have over 250 Learn to Sing videos here on YouTube, but this is the first one I've ever done where we talk specifically about learning to sing like a particular artist. Now I can hear some of my regular subscribers thinking to themselves, Frank Sinatra? Why Frank Sinatra? Well, Frank was an interesting singer and performer. By today's standards and what the general public has come to expect from a standout voice, Frank was fairly ordinary. He rarely sang outside of an octave range and he almost never displayed vocal acrobatics of really any kind. So what is it about Sinatra and his voice that earned him the title King of Swing? How did his voice become so iconic? Well, today we're going to look at a range of things that help Sinatra's voice become synonymous with words like smooth, warm, authentic, and timeless.
Sound check.
Here at Voice Essentials, I want every singer to learn to be comfortable and content with their God-given anatomy. You can learn to develop your voice, sure, but I think we can find ourselves pursuing the extension of things like our vocal range at the expense of the body of our voice. And herein lays our first lesson from Frank Sinatra. Learn to sing within the range of an octave first before you go trying to break glass with uber high notes. Sinatra became the singer we remember him to be, in part because he remained content with singing over a limited range. And he could do this because he never lost sight of the fact that singing is more about the lyrics and less about the melody. The moment a singer forgets to sing the narrative of the song, they expose themselves to technical criticism. The pitch was bad, the tone was inappropriate, there was too much struggle and tension. We don't want our audience focused on our vocal inadequacies. No, we want to immerse people in the message of the lyric. When your audience is focused on the storytelling, they don't have time to nitpick about bum notes. Frank Sinatra was the master storyteller and he developed his phrasing to serve the narrative. I've got a whole other video about learning to phrase when singing. I'll leave a link in the description section below, along with an interactive card that you'll see pop up on the screen. Suffice to say, at times you want certain words to be emphasized to convey the intended message. Sinatra would use his well-developed breath management to hold and extend words, and his ability to use messa di voce, a gradual increase in volume followed by a progressive decrease in volume, were superb. But none of these skills was used to show off the voice. What would be the point? No, these technical skills were used to expertly draw the audience into the narrative of the piece.
Sound check.
I think many of us associate Frank Sinatra with the genre of jazz. Actually, there are many music historians that would challenge that, stating that Sinatra in his early years was influenced by both jazz and cabaret, and while his phrasing and choice of rhythmic articulation were truly at home in the standards of the American songbook, he ventured into contemporary popular music later in his career with hit songs like New York, New York. The lesson we can learn here: don't be afraid to explore genres that sit outside of your comfort zone. Sure, you might consider yourself to be a jazz singer. Have you ever considered studying music theatre and adult contemporary? Learning to sing these other genres will teach your voice new tonal colours and help you to explore different phrasing options that will ultimately benefit your jazz vocals. Frank may have been known as the chairman of the board by his fellow musicians, but he never lost sight of the fact that music is a business of collaboration. Perhaps one of the greatest lessons that you can learn from Sinatra is to always conduct yourself in a manner that acknowledges your fellow musicians on stage, remembering that without their assistance, your performance would be considerably less attractive. Singers do well to remember that music is a team sport. I hope you've got something from today's video. Please remember to hit the thumbs up button and leave your comments below, highlighting other key things we can learn from the great Frank Sinatra and his iconic voice. I'll see you in the next Voice Essentials video. I'm Dr. Dan. Sing well.